Previously on the OC20.
We're just on this like minimizing Marissa train that I hate. To get Taylor into his bed. Like literally, it's like the writers were like, how do we get him and Taylor into bed? I know.
Well, right.
We'll
and then
develop it softly. Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like Ryan has made jokes, okay? You don't know. This is me on my couch as a 37-year-old man being like, Taylor, you don't know the first thing about Ryan.
Taylor and Ryan are in an alt universe.
I can't even have.
Good morning. Welcome back to the OC20. Episode 3. Very exciting. You know, this block of episodes.
Holy.
Wowie. Wow. And I'm so glad that we are going episode by episode because I wouldn't know where to start. So starting where we left off is a good place. Let's talk about episode 9, The My Two Dads, written by Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage.
Yep.
Frank is in Newport and he wants to see Ryan.
What is this gravitational force that just brings everyone to Newport Beach? It's not New York City. It's not LA. It's not Chicago. It's like...
Well, I mean, our characters live in Newport Beach, so of course we're going to bring people into this world because that's where they are. Why would we go to New York? No one's in New York.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yes, our characters are there. This will make more sense as we go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When another character shows up in Newport Beach, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. So Frank, he hasn't had a drop of alcohol in 8 years.
Good for
He's
him.
gone to anger management. He's been working on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan at first is apprehensive to meet him, but ultimately agrees after finding out that Frank is dying.
Lung cancer.
Yeah. In quotes. Dying.
He smoked 4 packs a day. It'd be weird if he didn't have lung cancer, is what we're told. Yeah. I saw through this right away. I was like, no, he's not. And when we're told that, I don't know if you notice, we see, what's his name? Sabo? What's his name? John Sabo? What's the actor's name?
It's Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbo.
Sorry.
John Sabo. We see Kevin Sorbo. And then in the next scene, when he's dying, I swear, as soon as I saw him, I was like, the makeup team made him look like peaky. Like they made him look like more gray than we just saw him like 5 minutes ago. So I knew what was going to happen, and I knew that this was a lie. And I was like, I don't know. But I was like, okay, I will accept this predictable storyline because I want to know what he's really after, like what's really happening. And then it turns out to be nothing. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, is it nothing? I mean, he just wants to reconnect with his son.
Yeah, that's nothing. I got 2 sons. Let me tell you, that's not worth being like, I'm dying of cancer and I'm going to get punched by Sandy Cohen. It's like, you just try again. Like you write a letter. Ryan doesn't want to see you right now. Okay, great. I will write him a letter every day and I will talk to him. I will explain myself, blah, 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 until he's ready. And if he doesn't want that, then I won't do that. But like, I was waiting, like the way that he's introduced as this, like, oh, I'm like a genius. I'm a jack of all trades. I can do anything. The Bullet trusts me, you know, and then I discovered your secret. I'm Kevin. I was going to say, I'm Kevin Sorbo. I'm Ryan's father. Like that hard cut ending was like, what's gonna happen? And then it's just, I want to talk to Ryan. Like, that's not anything.
I know.
Do you feel like am I way off base?
No, I hate this.
Okay.
I hate all of it. Like, I gotta tell you, my notes are so bad for these 4 episodes because I'm just like, I can't deal with this. You know, obviously I love it because I love this series, but these block of 4 are tough. At the same time, I just kept imagining your facial expressions while watching this because it's so absolutely ridiculous.
And I didn't know that. And I actually texted you.
Yes, you did.
I said, I want you to I think first I said, Michelle, I can't. And then I said, I want you to imagine my face.
For episode 10.
As I'm watching this. And I you know, last of our episodes where we talked about the most insane block of OC episodes yet, I really had a position of like, this is ridiculous, but it's fun. It's a whole other, it's just a new show. And like, that's my position on it. It's just a new show. I'm having fun. And all of that came crashing down with these four because it still has a few of the zany elements, but not in a way that like lit up my brain in a way that like made my brain shut down. So it was like, okay, you took some major swings in the last four, and in this one, it's like, what happened to the major swings? Like, why are we now? We're just, but let's continue.
No, I agree with you, and I felt like with these, after every episode, I had to make a happies and crappies list because there were some happies. There's definitely things I enjoy from each episode, but overall, I'm like, and you could think they're trying things like, okay, we're introducing Frank to Newport, right? Like Frank was a bad guy. Frank was abusive. And now we're trying to rewrite this character. I'm like, you know what? Just bring back Dawn. Can we just see Ryan hang out with Dawn? Yeah. I loved Dawn.
Yeah.
I didn't need Frank, to be honest with you. Didn't need Frank. You need
Frank if you're setting up a plot. And like I said.
Well, we are setting up a plot, but I don't like the plot. Is what I'm getting.
But like, I just want to talk. If Frank in this episode, you know, lays out his plan, which is, I'm getting my son back. I'm going to take down the Coens. I'm going to take down Julie. I have this information about them, which is that they're running a prostitution ring, which is real.
Yes.
And if you're like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do some stuff to get back with my son, that's a plot. Then he becomes a villain. You know, I was thinking over these 4 episodes, it's like, this season needs an Oliver. It needs a Caleb. It needs someone. And so we get, and instead we get Che.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like where, and so I thought, oh, okay, Frank will be the Oliver and the Caleb. And that's really interesting. I mean, look, going back to Star Wars, right? It's very interesting to have a father and a son on opposite sides of something.
Mm-hmm.
And at least, I can't speak for the final 4 episodes, but if you were going to do something interesting like that, you had 4 episodes to do it here. And it just goes away. Like
we go off the rails. This is like a creative writing session.
I do like, though, this had one of my favorite moments where Sandy punches him.
Love it.
And he says, I do. Because Frank says, you don't want to do that. Sandy's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, Sandy's love for Ryan and Sandy hanging out with Ryan in these 4 episodes is part of my happy because I love that. And also, I have to say, and I've said this before, but comparatively to my other teen dramas that I've covered, I love how much the parents are involved in the storylines. And and especially in this season, because all the other teen dramas, Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars and One Tree Hill, the parents are such an afterthought, which I understand because it's a teen drama, but the parents are very much involved, and I very much enjoy that with the OC.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say. We don't need to go scene by scene with this episode. I don't know.
Okay,
what do you want to talk about with this episode? Okay, please. Okay. I mean, I have an outline, but it's like we already said it all. Well, we have to get into the other characters, but as far as with Frank.
Seth and Summer.
Yeah, let's go to them.
Do they love each other?
Oh my God.
Do they love each other?
So annoying and reminds me of season 1, Seth and Summer.
Yes.
This, we need to smoke the other one out to get out of the engagement. It's so childish. Also, I don't know about you. I mean, I probably could assume. I was never one to play games in relationships.
No.
I don't do this back and forth.
No.
I know people in my life who are like this. My sister is one to do something like this. Not me. So I have no patience for it. So it just bothers me.
Yeah. Well, as you and I have been on a personality journey, I would say the last couple of months, where we keep being fed all of these things on social media, Instagram in particular, about Arieses and Scorpioses.
Mm-hmm.
And listener, if you don't know, Michelle's an Aries and I'm a Scorpio. And apparently, according to Instagram, if you put those two together, we're like the devil. We're we are unfeeling robots. Is the gist?
The meanest of the mean.
Just mean. And so I agree with you. You don't play game. Well, you don't play games with people, but you don't play games with your partner. That's your partner. That's you shoot straight, you know? And if you're like, oh, well, let me employ a little bit of psychological warfare. It's not for the purpose of like something major. It's like, okay, how do I trick them into a birthday present? You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I know. I have no patience for it.
Like,
I have no patience
for something
for it.
nice. It's not, or like, oh, they really need to go to bed. How do I help them go to bed? What do I do? Okay, well, I'll make sure that the sink is empty and their clothes are laid out. You know what I mean? Like something, the idea of purposefully making someone learn the Torah so that they will break off an engagement that you say you want is stupid. And I don't like that it's from both of them. Like if Seth had a dumb plan and Summer saw through it, okay. If Summer, who I think is a little bit more manipulative in that way, if she had that and Seth saw through it, okay, fine. But it's silly. It's like sitcom-y from the 60s. You know what I mean? Yes. Like this is, and look, I'm about to say something and I mean no shade to it at all, but this is like I Love Lucy, you know?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Which is great in the context of I Love Lucy.
Right.
And you literally have like Taylor and Ryan playing the role of Fred and Ethel, who are like, well, we really know what's going on, but let's see it play out. And it's like, do they love each other? And these couple episodes really don't make it seem like they do. I mean, later when Seth goes to see Dr. Roberts and he asks him, do you love her? And he's like, yeah, she's okay. I was like, no.
Well, yeah, I mean that he knew what he was doing. He was trying to get Dr. Roberts to be like, you can't marry my daughter.
But would you ever pretend that you didn't love your husband?
Never. That's what I'm saying. I don't have patience for this type of personality, this type of game. It's just, it doesn't land with me as much as I love Seth and Summer as individuals. And I do love when they're getting along and together, but this drove me nuts. However, I did like Summer going to Julie because Julie's the queen of manipulating men. I did like that part. That was funny. She's like, oh, I should have came to you all along.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also didn't like, Summer's plan to be like, well, I want a nice rain, because it's like, you know what, if you want a nice rain, you just want one, and that's okay. That shouldn't be seen as some, I don't know. I really I really didn't like
I know.
I wrote down like, this is such an insane tonal shift also for Frank, because the way he's introduced is like, who's this guy? What's he doing? And the music in particular really is used to like lighten the situation. And if you pay attention, it really kind of betrays that this is nothing. So right off the bat, I mean, Sandy and Frank are talking, and it's just nice, lighthearted music. And I was like, oh, so that whole meeting with Julie in the hotel meant nothing. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I had a thought, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way. But this is such a great reminder for me why I love movies over television. Because in a movie, there is not time for people to go through so many swings and changes of personality. And when it happens, it's usually a complaint that we have, which is, whoa, big tonal shift, did that work? But if you do it, you only have time to do like one.
Right.
So it's not this flip, oh, I didn't like Seth in season 2. I loved him in season 3. Oh, I didn't like him in season 4. There's not time for that. And if you don't like where something's going, it's over in an hour and a half. And you can move on. And I thought about you watching the show live when it was on air. Were you like losing your mind, or were you like, whatever?
I think I was just along for the ride because I knew this was the end.
Yeah.
And also just like kind of checked out.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't come to appreciate parts of season 4 until later on.
Yeah.
When I rewatched it.
If you call up a prison doctor, do they give you someone else's medical records?
I mean, what they say, like, oh, this is bad. You're going against a client's privacy or a person's privacy. This you're not allowed to do this, but Sandy's got connections. Dr. Alessi will hook you up, apparently. Sandy's determined, though. So.
I just don't think this would happen.
No, it probably wouldn't.
It's always a stupid complaint with movies and TVs. That wouldn't happen. But I was like, this feels like a real stretch. Like a real stretch. Even for Sandy's powers. Which, they just have the same amount of money. You know, in episode, I can't remember what episode, 5 or so of season 1, Sandy lets Jimmy borrow $100,000.
Kirsten.
Sandy
didn't know about it.
Kirsten lets Jimmy borrow $100,000, and Sandy didn't know about it. So that's the amount of money that they have that they're playing with in season 1. In season 4, he's back to being a public defender, and she doesn't have the Newport group. She's running a dating service, which I'm sorry, but like, you just wouldn't have the same amount of money. And here, Sandy's buying a truck at the drop of a hat. I know. Anyway.
I know. Caitlin. Caitlin.
We're just trying anything with her.
I cannot.
We're just trying anything. The writers are trying anything. They're just like, what will stick? What will be something?
She fails to take an English project seriously. Mm-hmm. And so her teacher enlists new student Will, played by Chris Brown.
I almost jumped off of my couch. I was like, okay. Somehow Chris Pratt being in this show has been shielded from me all these years. Never knew he was on this show. I've seen clips of Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec. I've seen clips of Chris Pratt, like I mentioned, from Everwood. Not once in all of the discussions of Chris Pratt have I ever seen. Oh, and also he was on a season of The OC. Chris Brown shows up, and I'm like, there is any Chris could be on this show. Any Christopher. Apparently. And just no one knows? No one mentions it in all the discussions.
Weird, right?
Chris Brown just came out and like when the Super Bowl was happening, and he was saying like how he should be in the Super Bowl, and he was throwing shade against some artist. I can't remember who it was, and it was like, Chris Brown, like, come on, knock it off, you know? Anyway, wow,
yeah. So Caitlin wants Will to do the work for her. He refuses to do so. And so when it's time for her to do her presentation again on her project, she is handed the index cards from Will, and Will didn't do the assignment for her. So she has to think quick on her feet, which she's able to do so. She later meets up with Will. He's in marching band and asks him to hang out. That's all I got about Caitlin and Will. I do not care about these two.
The show tells us that she's able to think quickly on her feet.
Which we know already.
But then
she's smart. She just doesn't want to do the work, you know?
Well, right. But it's like the idea of her thinking quickly on her feet. Meanwhile, her speech sucked. Like, I'm sorry. Her speech was not good.
Yeah.
It wasn't given like confidently. It didn't give any interesting information. And all the characters are like, wow. And I'm like, no. You don't get to write that scene and the reaction to it without giving us something good. Something that will happen again later with another character who gives an impromptu speech in front of a bunch of people that he also stumbles through, which is also not good, but I'll save that.
Anything else on episode 9 before we move on?
I just want to mention because my first introduction to Chris Brown acting was the film This Christmas, which I enjoyed at the time. I just want to say that. Has nothing to do with anything. Taylor is...
She's trying to be supportive girlfriend to Ryan.
She really annoyed me this block of episodes when they pull out the fish and she's like, but what if Ryan's dad was a deep sea fisherman? And I was like, what are you talking about? That's not anything. Like that's not even an anxious thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're to that level of anxiety, then you'd be worrying about eating inside because you'd be afraid that, you know, he's been locked up for so many years and we should eat outside because he wants fresh air. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. Yeah, she drove me nuts. I did really like though Ryan saying my dad is right here, them having family time. This was a good like reestablishment of like, oh yeah, like Ryan actually is in the family, but it just felt so like wishy-washy, middle of the road. I need more drama in the sense of like drama, not like you know what I'm saying. It needs to be more serious.
Yeah,
not this.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, episode 10, The French Connection, written by J.J. Philbin. We're continuing right on. We get into Seth flying to Seattle, like which we talked about, but which I guess we could just, I mean, I know this is mostly with Taylor and Ryan in this episode, but just to like continue on with Seth. Seth flies to Seattle to ask Neil for his permission to marry Summer, and which, you know, Neil is like, no. And then Neil questions his reasonings because Seth, like you said your daughter is cool and easy on the eyes. And so then Seth really explains how he does love his daughter and that she makes him a better person. Meanwhile, Summer hangs out with Holly and her group of noopsyweds to see what that is like. Because that's what Summer would become if she got married.
Okay, but like Holly, we've seen Holly before?
Yes, we've seen Holly before.
Okay. They're all married, like just right out of high school like this?
This group of noopsyweds, yes, they are.
That seems... Sure. Okay.
Holly says, I think it's Holly or one of the noopsies when they're all out till brunch. She goes, she wants more champs, yo. Hup, hup. I love that.
Yes. The language, I like their language.
Yeah.
Very of its time.
Yeah. In doing so, while Summer is trying out this new lifestyle of what will be, Che appears as her moral conscience.
Where,
you know what it's like? It's like, oh, Chris Pratt is funny. Let's try to use him as much as possible. And this is what's to come of that.
But why? Okay, fine. Summer is seeing Che. I can accept that. But then at the end, Che says that he's been practicing like out-of-body meditation.
Yep.
And I just was like, so we're really doing magic in the OC.
What do you mean we're doing magic in the OC?
Oh, okay. So throughout the whole episode, she knows that he is a figment of her imagination, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he called her at the end and she said, "Oh, I've been seeing you lately," and he's like, "Oh, that's really weird. You know what? I'll come to town and we'll sort this out together." Fine, okay, that's fully in the realm of realism, right? Instead, we cut to his dorm room where he's in a tent, and he says that he has been practicing out of body meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we are to believe that those two things are related. That she has literally been seeing an out of body Che.
Yeah, no, I didn't take it like that.
That's
at all.
It doesn't matter if you take it that way. That is what they are doing. They are making that connection in their writing that these two things are related.
No.
Yes.
No, I mean, okay, but that's not how I'm, no. Okay, moving on.
You don't think that's what they're trying to say?
No, I agree with what you're saying in the sense of what we're seeing.
Yeah.
But I don't take that as magic. I just take that as like I had a premonition. Yes, I've been working on things. No, we're not talking about the same type of magic. If someone has a vision of something, I'm not saying it's like, I think it's just different.
But it's not physiological. Anything that's not physical is magical, spiritual.
Spiritual, I guess. Okay,
fine.
Maybe I'm
fine.
like
spiritual. Fine. Okay, fine.
Yes.
But then the OC is proposing a spiritual reality between Che and Summer, where he is meditating on the East Coast and is manifesting to another person and communicating with her while he is not aware of it on the West Coast.
Yeah. That works for me.
Which is fine if you're watching a show like Lost.
I guess so, but it makes sense for Che's character. We have already lost the plot. We are off the rails.
Oh, no. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying the OC is not a surreal show until this season.
Yes.
Yeah. And so by establishing this in a later episode, Summer could be trapped in a collapsed coal mine, and Che could meditate and go to her location. That's what I'm saying. Like that is the environment that they have now opened up, which is a big pill to swallow, 6 episodes before the show ends. I
guess so. I don't know. I really haven't ever thought that deeply on it. To me, I'm just like, we just haven't met a character like this yet. To me, this doesn't introduce the world of magic. It just introduces this sort of character. And Summer was influenced because she's friends with him. Anyway, Che gives a really good line while they're on the phone and said, in order for two halves to be whole, each half must be whole on its own, when she talks about the engagement. And he quickly says, that's great. I'll weave you guys something ASAP, which I laughed at.
Yes. It's a good line, but it's also like, Che, like, what do you know? Like, oh my God. Yeah. I was shocked. I was shocked that he was back because he already did his like mid-season escape from the show.
No. He's
as Winchester.
Correct. Seth comes back to Newport, shares with Summer how he feels that he wants to remain engaged. They don't have to get married right away, but they'll get married someday. And then Summer explains that she needs to find out who she is first and gives the ring back.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, I guess this is the season of Summer trying a bunch of things and finding herself.
Yeah.
Over and over again. We already kind of did that, but I guess it didn't. I guess it wasn't enough. What is with the unicorn thing?
I
Dr. Roberts says, I gotta go. Someone was stabbed by a unicorn.
Yep.
Okay. Funny, whatever. But then it's expounded later where he's like, yes, someone dressed up their horse like a unicorn. And I was like, I just I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't know if that's
I think it's a throwaway line, and then Seth to just be like, they do exist.
Sure. Like that. Okay. Anyway.
Taylor's ex-husband, Henri Michel.
Wait. Can we do Julian and
you want to do everyone else
and
out
of the way? Yes.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. And it's funny because I scrolled down to cover Julie and Kirsten. I was like, maybe we should go back up. All right. Kirsten's suspicious of Julie.
Mm-hmm.
So she steals her cell phone and finds out about Julie's business, and she fires her.
Mm-hmm. Which she should. Absolutely.
Which she should.
Yeah.
She absolutely should. I don't know. Do you have anything more on that? Because
not really, other than at this point, and I'm not trying to be crazy analytical of the season structure, but I'm like, where is this going? Where is this going this late in the game? Because everything is kind of like an ending with no follow-up, where it's just, you're fired, but I'm not calling the cops. It's just a clean break. So it's like, okay, well, in the previous episode, Frank gives Julie the cooked books. And she's like, well, I'm not going to use it. And he's like, you sure about that? Well, here, take it anyway. And then it's like, well, that's just going to go nowhere. It's like a whole lot of things are just going nowhere.
Which I'm glad you bring that. We didn't even touch upon that in last episode. Frank leaves town, gives Julie the cookbooks, and they kiss.
Yeah, they kiss. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, okay, all right. Julie will be Ryan's mom. And he'll have two moms, two dads and two moms.
The Cooper Atwood connection,
The timeline with Ryan, I need better clarity. Okay, how old is Ryan when we first meet him? 15, 16?
15, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Frank has been in prison for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just say that Frank goes to prison when Ryan is 8. Ryan has memories of him being a horrible person, being beat by him and his mom and all that stuff, okay? So 8 years old makes perfect sense. But that doesn't leave any time for Frank to get out of jail and go on all these adventures with Bullet, learn all of these. He's an accountant, right? Mm-hmm. We're told in prison that he gets his GED.
Yep.
Well, that's not an accountant. Right? Okay, fine. So did he go into prison when Ryan was younger? Like, at a certain point, the timeline of events just does not make any sense with Frank. It really bothers me. And I hate to be nitpicky like this, but also...
No, you should be nitpicky.
I'm not enjoying the Frank thing, so that's where my mind goes to. How was he in prison for this amount of time, became a completely different person? And then, like I said, when he shows up, it's like, oh, this guy can do anything. He can do anything. Well, we're told before that he was a horrible drunk mechanic, which, hey, being a mechanic is a very large stretch of your mental capacity. It's hard to be a mechanic. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying like, oh, he's just a mechanic. Absolutely not. How does he become this other person in this short amount of time? I hate it. I hate it so much.
Many of us feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like the number one thing of like I said earlier, we're reinventing this character. Now we're supposed to root for Frank. I I don't want to root for Frank.
I don't want to root for Bullet. I don't want to root for Frank. I don't want to root for Che. I don't want to root for these people who are shown to be horrible people in the start of the season. And now it's like, but actually we love them. And it's like, but I don't. You haven't given me enough time to love them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got on Julie and Kirsten. But it is kind of a big development. It's just like a one scene thing and then it's over in this episode.
Yeah. Caitlin. My one note for Caitlin, okay? Caitlin and Will are figuring out their relationship, ...
Yeah.
That's all I got on them. Because I don't really care. And because I know how this all ends, it's hard for me to be present and spend a lot of time on them.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of homeless guy jokes.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't like this.
No. Yeah. A lot of the stuff Caitlin, the narrative around Caitlin and the language she uses is so cringy and does not hold up.
Yeah. Her and Will, I guess I'm like, why is this? Are you trying to redo Seth and Summer? Where it's like, but he's a nerd and I'm not. But it's like, but also Chris Brown isn't really giving like Adam Brody in season 1. It's Chris Brown. Like, oh, he's in band. That's not.
And he's smart. Okay.
Yeah, and he's smart and he's cool and he looks like Chris Brown. So it's like, it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole big feud between Caitlin and the geeks. I'm like, this is nothing. This is a nothing burger. And like I said, it's like they're trying a lot of different things with Caitlin. Kind of like they did with Taylor in last season. Where it feels like they're just trying things to see what sticks, but then also Caitlin can be used as a utility player for whatever they need, like the emails with Bullet later on. And it's like, okay, sure.
Taylor's ex-husband,
God,
Henri Michel, wrote a novel called A Season for Peaches.
Yep.
Based on his relationship with Taylor. Everyone in Newport Beach is reading it and specifically talking about page 47. It's Bridges of Madison County meets The Notebook meets porn.
I'm Peaches.
I'm Peaches.
I would wear a shirt. Now, don't be too excited about my feelings about this plotline, but I would wear a shirt that's just the book cover, A Season for Peaches. I think that's very funny.
If I make that for you, you'll wear it?
Of course.
I feel like I could probably make you anything and you'd probably wear it.
Sure. But just A Season for Peaches, that is funny, right? And not to be a hater, I'm sorry if you're listening to this and the OC is your favorite show and you think every episode is great, I really apologize. But again,
no way, man. We all know how we feel.
Timelines.
I know.
Henri Michel and Taylor are divorced. We're doing like holiday hopscotch this season too, which I think is meant to give us a progression of time, but also it's like, hey, it's our last season. Every episode will be about a holiday. So we're somewhere between Christmas and Groundhog's Day.
We're pretty much in New Year's because we already had, we're probably in January because we already had New Year's. We didn't have Groundhog's Day or Valentine's Day yet.
We didn't have Valentine's Day yet. So
we're in January.
Sometime between like Thanksgiving and January, Henri Michel writes an entire book, which is then published and distributed. The printers had nothing in their queue. They were like, oh yeah, we can print millions of books at the drop of a hat and send you on a tour. Like,
this is like the reality of this world, right? Just like we said last episode, you don't go shopping for Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving morning, but you can in Newport. And so in this world, things like this, same thing in One Tree Hill. The it's like teen drama universe world. The logic, it's not the same as real
but
world.
I never felt that about this show. You know,
I know.
I'm rewatching the OC with my son.
Yeah.
He's watching for the first time from episode 1.
Yeah.
And how grounded that show is. Like, the absurdity of that show is like teenagers wearing tuxedos and gowns and underage drinking. But that's about it. That's about it. It's a really, really grounded show. And now we are at Taylor, who I still view as a secondary character, having a third great character write a book about her. And that's like the main plot of the episode. And I'm like, where have we gone? And over these 4 episodes, I also thought to myself, what a hole Marissa left in this show that you have to introduce 5 or 6 new characters in this season alone, just in the first couple episodes, to try to fill in the core 4 dynamic and plot. So I don't know if that's an opinion that's shared by most people, but
it is.
Marissa left.
100% is.
Yeah. You're trying to fill in with Caitlin and Che and Henri Michelle and Taylor, and it doesn't work. And it's such, I think it's I shouldn't say it doesn't work, because it's still fun and it's funny and weird, but it's a really good proof that the first 3 seasons did work well. Anyway.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this Henri Michelle book thing?
Well, like you said, it's entertaining. The other thing that we know this is the end, right? This is the last season. So I'm pretty much just absorbing what you're giving me. Do I love it? Not necessarily. Do I laugh and think it's ridiculous? Yes. I do personally love Taylor. Taylor, I love her. I told you, she's one of Ant's favorite characters below Volchok. So, you know.
So crazy.
The thing that annoys me about this, it's like I understand how Taylor works in her psyche, but Henri Michelle he explains his motives in Newport, and he's happy that Taylor is seeing someone, and he proposes the idea. This is what it was. He proposes the idea that the 3 of them, him, Taylor, and Ryan, all go to dinner. And so Ryan can see that Henri Michelle is not a threat. And Ryan feels very awkward at dinner because he doesn't know French literature or the topics that they are discussing, and feels that him and Taylor are from, dare I say, 2 different worlds.
Gee, okay, we knew that, yeah. But look, we've been there. I've been there. Have you been there? We've all been.
I'm there
in a situation
every single week on Movie Friends. No,
wow. Maybe a couple of years ago, but you know.
No, for sure. I related to Ryan very much.
I've been in situations like this.
Oh gosh.
Especially when I was younger, where, you know, I dated a girl who was from a completely different world than me.
Yeah.
And there were so many times where I found myself just being like, just don't say anything, or smile and nod, or be polite, or whatever. So I got that. Again, I hate that they abandoned Ryan being a smart guy in the first season, to where he's like, philosophy, what's that?
Well, no, I mean, he's smart, but does he know French literature? Can he speak French? No. So automatically, you know, Taylor appears on Je Pense, which is a French Charlie Rose show. Ryan feels lost because it's in French, and then finds out that Taylor lied to Henri Michelle, saying that Ryan is a writer working on different pieces. And Taylor was like, well, what was I supposed to tell him? I had to say that. So
what was I supposed to tell him? As if we are not high school graduates.
Well,
we're not
right.
35.
Well, right. Yeah.
We are correct. 18 at most. I had to tell my French ex-husband that you were working for years, by the way.
Yep.
Come on. Like, people,
I
like
know.
writers, can you remember their age for one moment? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, like, oh, I don't like Taylor. I didn't like Taylor for numerous reasons. And I feel like this is the first time where I was like, oh, as someone who doesn't like Taylor, I don't like that they make her so trash in these episodes. Like, she went from being head over heels for Ryan to thinking everything that he does is so great to being incredibly embarrassed to even be around him. Again, thinking about timelines, the joke of Taylor going to France over the summer, mind you, but was only there. She actually wasn't there for an entire summer. She goes there, she gets married. That was the joke, is that it was so brief. But now we're backpedaling on that, saying actually during that time, she went on a talk show tour with her husband. Like, you can't do that. I'm sorry, writers. Like,
yeah.
Do you know why? Because it doesn't amount to anything. It doesn't amount to anything. If you want to have Ryan sit there and be in awe of your smart girlfriend, you can do that at the dinner that they were at. Just include a couple other French people and have her go off about. Why do you need to? You're rewriting history.
Taylor's over the top. Taylor's over the top. And so it's like, we're already there. Wouldn't it be funny if, I mean, imagine this writer's room. Wouldn't it be funny if? All of these are wouldn't it be funny if.
I know.
Does it work? No. But wouldn't it be funny?
But the thing is like, to me, it's not. It's not funny. Like, this part.
I get it.
Ryan and Taylor going into Dream World because they both fell off a ladder at the same time. That's funny. Yeah. Telling me that your joke about her going to France and getting married in like a week and then moving home and living in Newport under giant sun hats and sunglasses, that didn't happen. That's not funny. You don't get to pull the rug out from underneath of us and think that we're dumb. We're not dumb. And again, that you're making Taylor a character who has been established to be deeply loyal and, dare I say, needy. And I say needy in a nice way.
She is.
We've established all of the problems with her and her mom. She latches onto Ryan and Seth and Marissa to the point where she's just like sleeping in Julie's house, and then she's sleeping at Seth's house, and she has really ingrained herself with these characters. And then at the drop of a hat, the person that she wants to see the least in the world, her ex-husband, who has embarrassed her on a global stage, now she's betraying Ryan because she's embarrassed of him. I'm not going to say what I want to say, but no. Writers, I reject this idea. And I hate that it goes on over the next couple episodes.
I think my favorite part of this episode is that we get West Coast by Coconut Records. It's Jason Schwartzman's band, Coconut Records.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good music throughout these.
Always good music, but it's...
I hate this though. I hate this.
I know.
And like I said, like I am forced into a position of defending the real Taylor from this storyline. That's bad. If I'm defending the real Taylor, you've really gone too far.
Yeah. Well, this continues because in episode 11, The Dream Lover, written by Layla Gerstein, Ryan hasn't returned Taylor's phone calls because he's not ready to speak to her about Henri Michel. And at the same time, Seth is avoiding Summer for rejecting his proposal. Henri Michel decided that he's going to get a place in Newport Beach and he wants to win back Taylor. And this is what's frustrating, but also I understand Taylor is debating now whether or not she should move in with Henri Michel, not because she wants to be with him, but because he's not that bad of a roommate. And she can't mooch off of Summer and Julie and the Cohens any longer. The thing that grounds me with this is like, okay, we are 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 18, obviously I didn't have these events happening around me, but you're all over the place. The logic isn't fully formed yet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's that's how I ground myself with this.
This is what I was referring to earlier with Newport Beach being some kind of black hole magnet. Okay, maybe he's stopping there for a book tour. Book tours send you all over. Like, okay,
Yeah.
fine. But this idea of like, I just happened to be in the bookstore where Taylor lives when my book came out. And you know what? I'm just going to live here now. That's, I don't buy. I don't buy that. And earlier in the season, I liked all the stuff of airplanes and Summer's in one place and Seth is in another, and you have to travel or you have to have phone calls. Now it's just actually, you know what? I know that we established Bullet as this globe hopping billionaire, but he actually spends all of his time in Newport Beach. And Henri Michel, we know, he's a French guy who can't even be bothered to come. He sends a lawyer, Actually, now he also just lives in Newport Beach. That's what I meant earlier, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's ridiculous. Ryan seeks out advice from Summer and Caitlin about talking to Taylor and how he really feels. Caitlin suggests that he brings her a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's finally ready to go talk to Taylor. Caitlin's like, what are you bringing her? Even if it's a teddy bear and gummy bears from the Quickie Mart, you have to bring her something.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan's like, oh yeah, okay, gummy bears, teddy bear. So he arrives at the Four Seasons where Henri Michel is staying. Taylor's supposed to be there. She's not. He leaves the bear with Henri Michel. Oh, what a sweet gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor finds the bear and she's kind of like insulted by it. And so she continues forward with Henri Michel.
I don't even want to talk about this. Like, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. 'Cause don't you know that Ryan is an idiot? Don't you know that? He's an idiot. He's not smart. He doesn't love the women that he's with. He hasn't learned anything about culture. The best he can do is gummy bears from the Quickie Mart. That's not right. Like, I'm sorry. No.
I know.
No.
I know. Henri Michel tells Taylor that he loves her and he's inspired. He wrote a poem about her and he's going to read it at the bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the bookstore. He reads the poem aloud. All these attendees are just fawning over him.
Mm-hmm.
How lucky would I be if someone wrote a poem about me?
Sure.
Ryan then shows up. I have a poem.
I wrote that down. I have a poem too.
Mm-hmm. Attempts to read it, stops abruptly, feels discouraged. Taylor ends up telling him that she needs to figure out who she is before she is with anyone else.
Which was that just a copy and paste from Summer? From last episode?
Stories.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Now look, I agree.
That's good. Taylor should come to this resolution. We know this. This is, yes.
Right. Like, I agree with this idea, even though I said I kind of didn't with Summer, but it's like, again, we should remember that they are like kids. They're legal adults, but they're really, really young. They do not need to be jumping. Taylor doesn't need to be jumping from a marriage annulment to Ryan. Okay, fine. But it just felt, copy and paste. It felt boring. I was like, wait, we just saw this. Kind of. Henri Michel like just disappears like magic, like as if it's magic. What is? I'm not proposing that this part is magic, by the way, but
okay.
But that is how it is like presented. Is where it's like, where did he go?
That's it. I mean, we came in as fast as we left,
A lot of French jokes. French people smell. I don't know if you know that. That's what this show establishes. Taylor being like, I'm going to move in with him and maybe I'll learn to love him. And yet that was the idea that she completely rejected while she was married to him. So that's
right. But now she's so low. Well, right. And I get that. Okay. You're trying to figure it out. You know, you're self-aware enough to know how you are and how you deal in relationships. You don't want to be this way. So I get the back and forth of how she's feeling, but just the quick of like, you know what, I'm going to move in with him because that makes sense. That's a good idea. Let me do that. It's just
what I can't remember if I said, I think I did say something along the lines of like, you needed to establish Henri Michel as like having a dark side, that he's abusive in some way. Because when Taylor goes to France and she marries him and she's having the time of my life and all this different stuff, there's an inner thing within her that says I shouldn't be married to this person because I don't love him, despite all of the external things being great sex life, rich guy, married at his family's cathedral, whatever.
Intellectual, right?
Right.
Similar
all these
interests.
things. But within me, I know there's something wrong. And so I'm fleeing the country and making Ryan sign this thing so that we get divorced because of an inner thing. And then as soon as she shows up, she's like, you know what? I think I'll ignore that inner thing and just learn to love him. No.
No, but I think that is relatable. It is hard to move on from something. It does take time. It's just the way we're seeing it be played is difficult. It could take a long time for a person to heal.
Right, but
and to change.
If that's the case, then why did she leave in the first place?
Why'd she leave in the first place?
Yeah.
Because she knew she didn't love him. So something must have ticked to the point.
So
but then
why
you're
ignore
away
that
from him
now.
Yeah. Well, because now he's here and where she lives and things are going bad with, you're just questioning Ryan. Ryan doesn't even like cheese.
But Ryan wasn't a factor when she was in France living with him and he's around.
Yes. I don't know what to tell you, Seth.
I don't know what I want to be told, but something other than what's happening.
Yeah.
But this episode sucks for that, but there is another thing happening in this episode.
There's two things that are happening in this episode.
Well, yeah, which one
you want to talk about? You want to do Seth first? No, you want to talk about Julie and Kirsten?
Do Julie and Kirsten first.
All right. So Julie concocts a plan in which Spencer tells Kirsten that one of the escorts has chlamydia. Mm-hmm. And so now Kirsten has to tell the woman that hooked up, like that was part of the service, you might have chlamydia. And so she tells Julie, like, you have to do this. Julie's like, I don't work for you anymore. And so then Kirsten agrees to help Julie. So they go off, and then Kirsten's noticing that the women that Julie is talking to, they're actually like hugging and smiling. Mm-hmm. And so then Kirsten is like, you're not actually telling them that they have chlamydia, are you? So then she goes and delivers the news, in which, they're upset to hear, all to find out that nobody has chlamydia. And this was just a lie to get Kirsten to talk to Julie again.
I think that this would have played out funnier, since that's what we're going with this. Again, it's an opportunity for real drama and real stakes, and yet it ends up being a funny thing. I think it actually would have played out funnier had we known that this was a ruse to begin with. Because not knowing that it's a ruse, we're like, oh my God, this is it. Finally, this is the thing that's going to take down Julie and Kirsten, and this is horrible. And then it just doesn't end up being that at all. So it would have been funnier if the whole episode Kirsten is going around being really confused, but we know what's going on. No, don't tell me. I was going to ask, does the woman who thinks she has chlamydia and is going to sue them, does that ever come back? But I don't want to know. Who knows? Maybe that's the final episode,
What was her name? They're like, I
can't remember, but they hate her.
They hate her. So they're like, yeah, let's just make her think she has chlamydia.
And
that's funny. That's funny.
Right. But that's the tone that the show has taken, where it's like, nothing matters. It doesn't matter that this highly litigious person thinks that we gave them a venereal disease.
Yeah. Right.
And is now going to pursue something with the lawyer. Just let it go. That is the point where we are at with Kirsten Cohen. I wrote down a line here. I don't need to hear Kirsten say one of your whores ever. I was like, you know what? I didn't ever need to hear that. I didn't need to see that.
Uh-huh.
The next line that I wrote down is, why am I watching Che and Seth in the woods right now?
Okay, wait, before we go to them, let's just wrap up. Caitlin and Will continue to figure out their relationship. Lucy, who's a member of the marching band, has a big crush on Will, loves Will for who he is, and feels that Caitlin doesn't respect who he is.
Right.
And doesn't really deserve to be with him. And so Caitlin ends things with Will. You should be with Lucy.
Right.
Okay.
You're really invested in the relationship, right?
It's like
You know how people will break down like, oh, Anthony Hopkins is actually only in The Silence of the Lambs for 3 minutes, like actual time on screen. I would love to do that with Will. Like how much time have we actually spent with Will that we care at all about a multi-episode arc of a will they, won't they?
I should have done that work for you. I apologize.
But who cares? Who cares? Will hasn't even shown himself to be like that interesting. I mean, he's nice. He's personal. He's helping out at the homeless drive. And it's not that Will has done anything like negative. It's just, I don't care.
We don't care.
I don't care.
I know.
And then it being Chris Brown, who is like a horrible person in real life. Now I'm doubly like, okay, all right.
Right.
That's enough of Will, I think.
Right. It's really hard. We're giving Caitlin these storylines of her own that are not necessarily involved with our main core. You know, her with Julie and Bullet, okay, fine. But her at school with the Lukes and Will, it's hard to care because it's like, you guys are so new and we're in the last season. You guys are like the new class. I don't care.
It's like Johnny. It's like if Johnny or like one of Johnny's cohorts had a 4-episode arc with a character and it's like, will they be in a relationship with each other? Which, by the way, there's no stakes to. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Marissa and Ryan, there's stakes to that relationship because you've got Luke, right? They're from different sides of the tracks. Marissa wants to help Ryan. They burn a house down. There are things.
Even Ryan with Teresa. Right?
Sure,
Teresa
Ryan
worked.
with Teresa. Right.
Oh, that was, yes.
Yeah.
I know.
But this is just, will these two high school kids kiss? I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Che comes to visit Summer and feels that Seth's animus is off. And so he proposes that the two of them go hiking after Summer's planned date with Seth goes south. She's trying to reconnect with him. Seth can't deal.
This feels like an episode of Full House where Uncle Jesse goes into the woods and has a vision. You know what I mean?
Yes, Seth, I do know what you mean. It has to be because Adam Brody and Chris Pratt on screen together are just fun to watch. This is what it comes down to.
I agree.
Even if it doesn't make sense, the two of them are very, very funny together. Okay, so Seth eats some berries and he has a vision dream sequence where he reconnects with his inner animal, which is an otter.
I didn't like this because...
Oh, you didn't like this?
Well, no.
Oh, no? Was it the Sweat Lodge?
I didn't like the workaround because I guess... I mean, no, that doesn't make any sense because throughout the show, they've been doing drugs and drinking. I was going to say, maybe they weren't allowed to say, you need to have Che like bring food and Seth eats the Ron brownie or something.
Or
like, oh, I picked a mushroom and ate it.
Correct.
Instead, he just says, there were some berries that I ate. And Che chuckles. He's like, you ate the berries? And I'm thinking to myself, there are not hallucinogenic berries. Writers, we are not dumb, but they are treating us like we're dumb. They're treating us like we're stupid. And I don't like that. I don't like when writers do that. As if things don't matter anymore.
Things don't matter, Seth.
Just make it that Seth eats a handful of berries. They're not like 100 miles deep into the woods. They're like, where, like, you know what I mean? Oh my God. But there's not magic berries that make you hallucinate. So that bothered me. But Seth going into his house, a real otter, I loved all of that. And I kind of was like, oh, please let this be the whole episode. And Seth does like a Homer Simpson, crazy pepper journey. It's not that, but I did like it. I thought that it was funny.
Che also connects with his inner animal, which is a bullfrog. Mm-hmm. But that frog is connected to an otter.
Yes.
I love that Che is telling Julie this. Yeah. And Julie is the one who has to listen to this. That was good.
Poor Julie.
Poor Julie.
She's hearing about chlamydia, and then my son went on a drug trip with this random guy, and there's bullfrogs and otters. All right, listeners, if you have seen the OC a bunch of times, try to imagine me. I've never seen this show. I don't know what's happening in this season. First 3 seasons, okay. Crazy stuff, whatever. This feels like I'm riding a roller coaster without a lap belt, and I'm just holding on for dear life. Che is introduced. He's Che. Then he's a bad guy. Then he's Winchester. Then he is a projection of Che's spirit through meditation. Now, here we are, 5 episodes from the series finale, and Che might be romantic endgame with Seth Cohen. And this is where my mind, and I'm thinking to myself, do Seth and Che end up together? And has that what this has been all about? Summer finding herself and then losing herself and then going on another quest to find herself, breaking off their engagement. Seth and Che are in a sweat lodge together, hallucinating, and now they're in love with each other. That is how this episode ended for me. Mm-hmm. And I legitimately was like, I think I can see it. I think that this might happen, because at this point, I don't know what's happening. Anything has happened. Am I going to see Seth and Che kiss in the next episode?
Yeah. I mean, but Seth does go back to Summer at the end and say, I've healed my inner animus, and it was an otter. And Summer, she's like, I can't deal with the Noopsie Weds. I'm going to start a non-for-profit for otters. They're connected again. But you're like, no, Che is
because we're in, look.
I know. Okay.
Taylor and Ryan went into a dream world and discovered that they were meant for each other or whatever. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't that happen with these two? And Che saying the otter is my soulmate and all this stuff. I was like, wow, like, anyway.
But could soulmates, we've talked about soulmates before, I believe, but could a soulmate be just the best friend?
Well, and that's also what I thought was, okay, Che will just become, maybe they'll try a romantic thing, but then it will just turn out that Che and Seth are actually meant to be like best friends.
Yeah.
No,
and it's like,
not
is the show going to do that?
Right.
Because Seth and Ryan are best friends.
Well, Seth and Ryan are brothers now. So now there's room.
That's true.
Seth can have a best friend because he has a brother.
Right. That's true.
But like everything so far, nothing means anything. And this all just comes to another conclusion. But
Episode 12, The Groundhog Day, written by Mark Fish. Taylor needs space from Ryan to work on herself, so she goes to see a therapist to work on her emotional addiction. Mm-hmm. And Ryan is bummed and patiently awaiting because Taylor won't talk to him. So he's just in like weird limbo. I don't miss her. No way.
Right.
Right.
I'm fine with, I think more people should employ professionals when it comes to breakups and working through things like that, because you shouldn't have to have contact with someone if you don't want. If you've broken up with someone and you got to return their stuff, give it to another person, let them bring it. You don't owe that person anything. So and then she's like, oh, I'm Dr. blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm thinking to myself, we're just introducing new characters. We are in the final moments of this TV show. Do I have to remember this person's name? I hope not.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
Ultimately, they're fine. Taylor and Ryan, we're back on.
But not before we get what I am going to say.
Bless you for wanting. You can tell me. I'm just like, I can't. I'm like I said, my notes are pure garbage for this.
I'm into it.
No, I have bigger notes, but like the Taylor and Ryan stuff, it's just like we stalked. We're fine.
Oh, well.
We'll go to this together. Okay, go ahead, Seth. Lead the way.
Stalked thing. Holy moly. Yes, we end up in just kind of like, we're back together for no reason. But not before what I will nominate as the worst shot in the history of this show, which is Taylor running away in a headless groundhog costume.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are we doing? Three Stooges? What is this?
Right.
It's so absurd and ridiculous. Oh, you didn't take note of this? This didn't bother you?
I took note of that. I also took note of when we're opening the episode, we are following Caitlin as she's on the phone. Mm-hmm. And then later on, we get it's like an homage to Scream, right? That's what we're doing.
I mean, I think it's an homage to Heavy Breathing Creeps.
Well, right. But isn't that the same? Like the following in the beginning and then. Yes. Okay. So all of that. Taylor.
Who wrote this one?
Mark Fish.
Okay, because we're back to movie references, which have been very scarce throughout these last couple episodes.
Yeah. Oh, and which I do have a question for you, but I wanted to just wrap up Ryan and Taylor first before we get to the others. But, I mean,
Taylor, she's stalking him. She's got binoculars. She has to leave. She's apparently been watching him, but then she's like, no, he gets off work in 10 minutes. So show up. Why did you stand there all day?
Yeah. And then, I mean, Taylor. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she's stealing a groundhog costume, which apparently is like the easiest thing to do in Newport Beach. They're just handing them out. I mean, honestly, like.
Who needs one?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You want this to go spy on your ex-boyfriend? Sure. And then the head comes off and she just awkwardly waddle runs. It's a funny performance from Autumn Reeser. It's just like I said, I was like, this is a different show. I can't believe what I'm watching. I can't believe that the end before a cut to commercial is Taylor like running away in a costume.
Mm-hmm. In the beginning of the episode, Ryan and Seth and Sandy are going to see a movie about a guy eating a live octopus. Mm-hmm. What movie is this?
Okay, so they are referring to the film Old Boy.
Okay.
Which is on the list of movies that I would never make you watch for movie friends.
Oh.
But honestly, after seeing it here, I thought maybe it would be fun to do an Old Boy episode.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. South Korean.
And I was going to look it up, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just have my Seth tell me what movie this is.
South Korean movie. Also, I mean, incredibly disturbing, messed up movie in a lot of ways. Okay. Yeah. And so I got a really good chuckle out of the idea of, one, Seth and Ryan going to see this movie with their dad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a movie to watch with parents ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that they're trying to get Kirsten to go with them, which is like, if you've
Yep.
seen the movie, which Seth seems to have already seen it because he knows about the hallway fight scene choreography.
Yep.
It's very funny that Seth has seen Old Boy and he's like, Mom, you gotta go watch Old Boy with us. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. What do you think? Are you up for an incredibly messed up movie?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, maybe we'll do Old Boy next month or something.
I think it would be fun if we watched some movies that are referenced in the OC.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so these episodes aren't going to be coming out for a while. So if you're listening to this, go back through our feed and see if we have done an episode on Old Boy. And if you have, we will start that episode by saying, if you're here from the OC episodes, here's Michelle's 5-minute pitch for this movie, and then you can move on.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
Kirsten is just now turning 40, you're telling me? Do
you know, I turned 39. Okay, as the time of recording, I turned 39 next weekend.
Yeah.
That means, I know that means Kirsten's only 1 year older than I am. That is weird. I don't like when that happens in TV shows. Like, I have now caught up to where, like, I am now closer to the parents' ages.
Oh, right. But again, thinking about timelines.
Oh, the timeline. I know.
Kirsten is 40, and Sandy just said oh, no, sorry. I'm all confused because I'm watching the show from the beginning while I'm watching it at the end. But in season 1, Sandy tells Jimmy that they met when they were 22.
Mm-hmm.
So Sandy had Seth that year?
Mm-hmm. Okay. According to this timeline.
According to this timeline where the writers are like, we don't care anymore.
The fact that she's turning 40, it's just like, oh my God.
Why can't she be turning 44? Why can't she be turning 42? Why can't she be turning 45? 45 is a big milestone year.
It's crazy. Oh my God.
Do the Coens strike you as 30-year-olds?
No.
That Sandy Cohen took Ryan out of prison when he was 35? Come on.
But again, teen drama parents, this is how old they are. They're always like early 30s.
Right.
Mid 30s. It's wild. But Kirsten doesn't go to the movies. She's not feeling well. She makes a plan to go see her doctor. Now, at when this is all occurring, what were you thinking? Did you guess pregnancy? Were you thinking something was really wrong with her?
Okay. Here's exactly how my notes read. Ready? Episode 12. All caps. Kirsten is just now turning 40. Out of all caps. We are flying through holidays this season. The movie they are talking about is Old Boy, and yes, he eats a live octopus. Kirsten is calling a Dr. Harris. Please tell me she is pregnant.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry, but if a woman isn't feeling well in a movie or TV show, she's pregnant. That's all they know how to do with sick women.
While all of this is happening, Sandy is on the mission to get Kirsten a birthday gift in which he enlists Ryan to help him like run the errands, which I love. Again, Sandy Ryan time.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
That. Yeah.
I love it. Sandy ends up gifting Kirsten the mail truck from like their college days and also first class around the world airline tickets. And then she's like, oh, BT dubs, I'm pregnant.
Again, we are a public defender at this point.
Yep.
Okay. You're married. You and Anthony have been together how long? Total time?
We've been 17 years. We got together in 2008.
Okay, so are you ready for this?
Yeah.
22 to 40 is 18 years.
Yep.
Okay, so at this point in the show, they're telling us that Sandy and Kirsten have
Wait,
been
no,
together.
20. What did I say? 2008.
2008.
Yeah, I said 2008.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That Sandy and Kirsten have been together the same time that you and Anthony have been together. My wife and I have been together for 18 and a half years-ish, right? So same amount of time.
Okay, similar.
Okay.
Yep.
It's your birthday. and Anthony buys a vehicle for you, but it's like an old broken down mail truck because that's where you and him met.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
happy?
sentimental value.
Are you thrilled?
I might. I mean, to bring it back, like, I don't know what the equivalent would be for me.
But let's just pretend that you and Anthony met in a big mail truck.
Maybe. I might like convert that and make it a hangout. You're saying, no, Michelle, you wouldn't do that.
No, I'm just saying, like, you got to park it. You're going to park. You're going to pay insurance on a gift? Come on. You got a project? You get to convert a mail truck into a hangout spot? Wow. Thank you. This is the best present I've ever been given. And I know that he gives her the tickets too. And okay, that's nice. But like, this is, I just didn't get it. Now, Sandy and Ryan figuring out how they can rent a mail truck. And they show up, and then the Cohen family drives around Newport in a mail truck, and there's good music playing, and they're wearing tuxedos and eating bagels. I can see that as a really nice scene, actually. And that's not what they give us here. It's just that Sandy bought a mail truck. I was like, this is the dumbest thing. If someone bought me a vehicle, I would be upset.
I do like that Kirsten tells Sandy and the boys that she's pregnant this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
We're not stretching it out.
No.
We're not stretching it out. No.
I mean, like, she is like just pregnant though. And that's
she is
like,
just pregnant.
You know, you tell your partner, you're not like, hey, everyone in the world, I'm pregnant.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
But we're running out of time, so.
Correct. Jay is staying with Summer and working on his Chinese mystics to better understand that his soulmate might be Seth because his animus is an otter and Jay's animus is a bullfrog. Groundhog Day is approaching, and Jay has a plan to free Newport Chuck and enlist Seth to help because Summer says, if you're questioning if someone's your soulmate, why don't you just hang out with them and bond? I wrote, it's fun watching them together, but this is so ridiculous.
I just put my head in my hands and closed my eyes, and I felt like the room was spinning. I'm not kidding. This is so... This is so absurd. And we have precedent for Che unleashing animals. But now it's being done like Mission Impossible style with like rappelling from buildings and ceilings. Seth, can you help me understand why he goes along with this?
They feel a bond. That's what he says. He's like, all right, fine. I feel like we have a bond. He literally says that. And so, you know, they get pre-op snow cones.
Okay, that I am like, I guess if this wasn't done to the grand scale that it's done, where it was just like, Cohen, I need you to like hold open the back door while I run in and do it. And then somehow, you know, they get caught. I guess I would buy that. But the idea of like Seth, it's so loose. It's paper thin. And then you have Summer that you could use as some type of leverage where Seth could be like, you know what? Yeah, like I want to understand Summer better. You and her did animal activism together. You know, maybe but no, it like you said, it's just, yeah, we have a bond. I'll do something illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it.
I mean, the whole plan is ridiculous. In the van, looking at the map, talking about like, oh, you went on a tour. How was it? Like, this to me feels like a movie.
Yeah.
A little like buddy com movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe what we were doing here. Wouldn't it be funny if?
Yeah. I know that this isn't the structure of the show, but I almost feel like I would appreciate all these storylines more if it was like, this is the Seth and Che episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is the Caitlin and Will episode, and we're going to give it time to really like just spend with them and have conversations. And an Henri, Michelle, and Taylor episode. Sure. Navigate that relationship and go on your French talk show. But doing it in bits and pieces, it just feels, I'm like holding on for dear life. And then right. I'm thinking about Caitlin emailing the Bullet about his butt while I'm also having to be like, yeah, I just watched Che rappel from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. Seth and Che get caught. They get arrested. While in jail, Che starts to explain to Seth about his animus.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman who was dressed as one of the groundhogs is put into jail because she stole Newport Chuck, she takes off the head of the costume
mm-hmm.
to reveal that Che's soulmate was actually a groundhog, not an otter.
It's a bit of a fake out because we see a conversation with Summer and she's like, okay, I'll do something. And so you think Summer is about to emerge from the groundhog.
Yep.
But it's just someone who looks like Summer. Like she kind of looks like Rachel Bilson a little bit in that she's got brown hair and she's a little shorter.
Yep.
Okay. Why does this whole thing not make more sense if Che's or if Seth's animus was a groundhog?
Well, I think it's like, maybe it was a fuzzy vision, right? Like I thought it was an otter, but it actually was a groundhog. It's more clear now.
But why do that? Why not just make it that it was a groundhog all along? That ties into
Seth,
them.
Why are we doing any of it? You cannot question this stupid detail.
Oh, I can.
No, you can. You're right.
It ties the whole thing together. Seth is a groundhog. A groundhog is my soulmate. Let's go steal a groundhog. Oh, a different person comes out of the groundhog.
You're just differentiating. Like Seth was an otter. My soulmate's not actually an otter. It's actually a groundhog, and she is the groundhog.
I thought it was this groundhog. It's a different one. There could be more groundhogs in this.
Yeah, no, realm. I think sure, but I think this just makes it more clear.
I think it adds a layer of confusion because, then you have to have Che be like, oh, I guess I don't know what an otter looks like.
Well, no, it's just I can imagine like it's like you think that animals same size, similar in color. I think this is what I'm seeing and feeling. I'm trying to figure it out. It hasn't been clear to him. That's why he's trying to bond with Seth, only to figure out it was a groundhog the whole time. Anyway, they like lock eyes
to the small animal community. You think that all of them look the same?
Oh, are you the representative? Are you the representative for the small animal? Get out of here, Seth.
Yes.
Get out. Oh, please.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was an otter. Turns out it's a completely different animal that lives in a completely different, what's the word? Habitat.
Environment. Habitat. Okay.
Che decides to stay in prison.
Right.
Do they put men and women in prison and just separate them with a single bar?
Newport Beach, they do.
That's right. Okay.
Che and Mrs. Groundhog, they have Newport Chuck, and they take off.
Is this the last we'll see of Che? Who knows? Because he's come up. He just keeps coming back. Che just keeps returning. Okay.
Caitlin, as you mentioned, has been sending emails to the Bullet as Julie.
Is there going to be any legal repercussion for Seth doing this?
No, I mean, he's thrown into jail, right? Sandy gets him out, and Seth says to Ryan, like, are you kidding? Like, Dad's so proud that I was arrested for political activism.
Right, but you still broke and entered, like... This is like
we'll
when
talk
Seth
about it
burned
later.
down the Newport group, correct. And then there's just like, there's nothing to it.
Doesn't Kirsten say it, or someone says it? We'll talk about it later. One of those things. We'll talk about it later.
Sure.
We'll talk about it later.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Caitlin has been sending the Bullet emails for the past month, pretending to be Julie. She's got the Lukes with her. The Lukes are like, say you like his butt. And you know what? this did remind me of like when I was 15 and the crowd I hung out with. This is probably what they would say, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, it's not like people romantically talking about each other's butts is like completely out of the question.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But just how immature they were reminded me of my friends at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Julie has secretly been seeing Frank Atwood.
Right. Which is the
Did
big
this surprise
reveal.
you?
No.
Did this surprise you?
No, there's only a couple of people. I mean, I was like, okay, it's either Jimmy, Spencer, or Frank.
Yeah.
It's like that's like the only people left.
Yeah.
I got very excited thinking it might be Jimmy.
I know.
But no, it was not meant to be.
No, don't get excited.
Yeah.
Caitlin encourages the Bullet to propose to Julie.
Mm-hmm.
And he buys the biggest emerald cut diamond. He has a song that he got from someone on his flight.
Mm-hmm.
He proposes. Julie says no at first, but then at Kirsten's birthday party, sees Caitlin and the Bullet bonding, and she says, I'm saying no for right now. Let me get to know you, and if I grow to love you, then I would say yes.
So this is the second copy and paste. This is literally just Taylor to Julie.
Mm-hmm.
What is I just one quick. I want to back up really quick. Taylor says she doesn't want to stalk in a Star 80 way, and this is a reference to the Bob Fosse film Star 80. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, we got a little Bob Fosse.
Very nice.
Yes. Nice. Can I tell you what I thought when Julie was watching the Bullet and Caitlin dance? I thought, I wonder if Julie thinks that Caitlin and the Bullet should get married. And maybe that's where this show is going to go.
Stop it.
I swear. I thought that that's what the Bullet has been receiving emails from Caitlin, and they actually are going to realize that they have feelings for each other. And maybe that's where the show will end, at Caitlin and the Bullet's wedding.
Yikes.
Yes, yikes-a-rooney. I didn't write it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no. It's like my daughter needs a father figure. We do need money. She's selling pictures she bought in Cabo with Neil. I'll take one for the team. And then she calls it off with Frank. Like, we can't do this.
Right. I mean, I mentioned a couple last episode that we did. I'm not here for the Bullet reclamation tour. I don't like him. I think that, Julie told him, you're a bigot and a chauvinist, misogynist. That just doesn't change from Christmas to Valentine's Day. So I don't like this part.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
How do you feel about Bullet and Julie maybe getting married?
Well,
at this point, I know it's hard because you know the whole thing, but
sure. At this point, I'm not here for it. We don't want Julie to do this again, but I do understand Julie's thought process behind this, and she wants Caitlin to be happy. Jimmy is an absent father.
Right.
And so to see her daughter be so happy with someone like this, it's like, can I grow to love this man? And we would be financially stable.
Right. Julie's lovers: Jimmy, Luke, Caleb, Dr. Roberts, and the Bullet. Is there anyone else in between? I mean, there's the German guy who was, over for the night, but I don't mean like that. Like, has she had any other boyfriends or husbands?
Right. Oh, because she was in that that altercation with her porno.
Right. But that wasn't really a relationship. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a long line of not good guys. Luke comes around in the end, and Dr. Roberts was a nice guy, but Luke
was a child. He was of age, but we can't say that I don't count him as a serious lover of Julie. It was like an affair.
Oh, I do.
You do, yeah. I mean, we love Luke, but not for Julie.
Right.
Gosh, I miss Luke.
I guess
it must be so fun.
I know.
To watch Luke in season 1 again.
I told you it's incredible. He looks like a baby. Yeah. He looks so young in the first season. I guess what I'm saying is she's just had a long strain of not good people other than Dr. Roberts. So for me, it's a bummer that it's like, okay, we're circling the drain here, and she's potentially going to end up with Bullet. Frank, the final.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even mention this.
Well, I laughed because, we've been doing the episodes in 4 episode bunches, and the last 4 episodes ended with I'm Ryan's father, cut to black. This one ends with Frank sitting on a bed, just jewelry box in hand, as if he walks around with this 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? When I bought an engagement ring, I was not walking around with that thing. It was in a drawer, in a box, secure until it was delivered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, his plan, as we see, they were supposed to get together that night, the night of Kirsten's party, I believe, and he was going to propose. Mm-hmm. We've known each other for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if that.
Right.
What?
And a good part of that was spent with you thinking I was dying of cancer, and then you found out it was a lie when your best friend's husband punched me in the face.
Yep.
There's time to fall in love, but she says, I've been seeing him on the side. I've been seeing him secretly.
Okay, but enough for him to propose or want to?
The heart wants what the heart wants, whether it be a groundhog in prison or a Frenchman who wrote an embarrassing book about you. We can't know. We just can't know. And that's what the writers want you to believe.
I think that's a perfect place to end. Mm-hmm. Next episode will be our final one of covering the series. And then, like we said, we'll have a Q&A episode from you guys. Reach out and give your questions so Seth can answer them, and Seth and I can ask each other overall and give our overall thoughts and stuff. But yeah, it's the final 4, Seth.
I don't want it to end.
This is it.
I don't want it to end. It's so sad. It's very sad.
It'll never end in our hearts, though.
Yeah.
And now we have a shared thing in our friendship where I can just text you and say, life is what you make it.
That's right.
Always.
That's right. I think this is another thing about movies where I shield myself from the inevitable end, because you know that a movie will end. But with a TV show, watching it over the course of years, it's a much harder break, you know?
Yes, I do know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know way more than I do.
Yeah. Very emotionally invested in these people.
Okay, can I make a prediction?
Absolutely, please.
I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. At best, I would say that maybe we do a time jump to when Kirsten delivers a baby. That might be the final episode. Maybe Julie and the Bullet get married, but then he dies, and so she just inherits all of his money. Seth and Summer will go to Brown. If we do a time jump, it might end with Kirsten having a baby, Seth and Summer leaving for Brown, Taylor and Ryan leaving for Berkeley, maybe. I don't know. That's the best. Che will return, I think. If Che doesn't return, I would be really shocked. Caitlin, I don't care.
Okay, I was just going to say, do you have any predictions for Caitlin? No.
I feel like the Will stuff is so low stakes that it's not even worth putting into a season finale or series finale. But maybe her and Will are just together, and it's like, okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All of that is contingent on there being a time jump, which I don't know that they would do, but you never know.
We will see.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, Seth.
Hey, thanks, Michelle.
All All right, until next time, see you then. Thank you so much for listening to the OC20, a Movie Friends miniseries produced by Michelle Rubenstein and Seth Vargas. If you like what you just heard, please consider subscribing and leaving us a review. For more information about the show and what else we do, you can check out our website at moviefriendspodcast.com.